Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, these are the voyages of a podcaster that can never get to the point. He may talk about the Starship Enterprise, but the real enterprise I embark on is keeping you company and taking your mind off stuff so I can put you to sleep. This show is very silly. If you're new, so glad you're here. Regular listeners, welcome back. But for the new listener, this show, it takes a few tries to get used to. I'm here to keep you company because you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a friend in the deep, dark night that's going to talk to you, but you don't need to listen to me. Friendly voice that's a little bit strange and goofy, but well-intentioned. That's what this show is. So give it a few tries if you're new. Structurally, what to expect. We're going to have some support here. That's what helps us keep the podcast free for everybody. Then there'll be a long, meandering intro, which is meant to help ease you into bedtime and give you an idea what the show's about. Then we'll talk about Star Trek TNG, but it'll just be like a bedtime story. You don't need to have watched the show. Could be about anything. And, yeah, that's it. I'm here to keep you company, take your mind off. So glad you're here. Appreciate you coming by. And here's a couple of ways we're able to do it. Oh, and it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And here's a couple of ways we're able to do it for you for free twice a week. Everybody scoots here, and time to talk about another episode of TNG. What is this called? It reminds me of something they said in, what do you call that? That movie Goonies. Not everybody's seen that movie, but there was like, I don't know where the term, actually, maybe I could look that up. But it's like there's like, they use the term booby prize and booby surprise. Let me just make sure. Let me see here as we're doing this. Booby. What does it even mean? It's a setup to surprise someone. But where does the etymology come from? Oh, it used to be a wooden board game, too. Well, I don't know. Let me see if I just put in etymology. Is that what it is? Etymology? E-T? Yeah, there we go. Starting off early here. Oh, it was a seabird known as the booby that would surprise sailors with lunch. So interesting. The legend of the booby. It's since the 17th century. Booby surprise. Remember, named after bird. Okay, so we're talking about that episode. I got to find it, though. Got to turn down the volume. Oh, it's already down. It's season 3, episode 6. And a couple things. How did we get here? Why this episode, right? You know, it's like we were doing the other episode where Jordy had told, who was that person, even though I just covered the episode? Can't remember the guy's name, even though it's my job, too. But he was in Trivial Pursuits or whatever was the name of the episode. It wasn't Hollow Pursuits, Barclay. But so Jordy had said to Barclay, I mean, I don't know, one of the goals of the season, original, like I'm trying to see any episodes with Guinan's Wisdom or Cardassians, just because that's where the road has led us here. But then this one, in the last episode, Jordy said, it come up in a list of episodes Guinan was in, and then Jordy said, hey, and some listeners also mentioned it, or patrons mentioned it. So I have these like multiple lists, and then Jordy said, hey, I fell in love with someone on the holodeck once. It's totally normal. Then the ship's computer groaned, which was inaudible except to me. So I did some research, and it's a little bit, again, just like Barkley would say, is this like, how come you just don't have a protocol? I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't understand like the rules or the unwritten rules. I'm starting to understand more of the rules around the holodeck, which I guess is like like when you can't get shore leave, you need some holodeck leave. And then I don't know, it's interesting because I read this other book, I don't know, let's not go down that road, but that dating's allowed on board the Enterprise, which I guess if you look at humanism, I don't know, it seems complicated. So anyway, this led me to this episode because I thought this episode where this is where Jordy starts to fall in love, I guess. Or maybe he does. I mean, I guess Jordy may define falling in love differently than I do. And so one of the plot, and this actually has a nice little plot to it, in addition to Jordy's dating life, which I would say, I guess is what do we got? The B plot, I don't know, they're intertwined, or it starts off, I don't know, there's some nice stuff in here, some nice Picard moments too. But anyway, so it's called the Booby Surprise. And let's see, my notes, it says it starts off with Geordi on the beach by moon. It's sunset. Another thing that stuck out to me about this episode, and there were other episodes like this where the sound is a little bit different, the background music and stuff, and it was a little bit more noticeable. And this is one of those ones that's very 80s. I enjoyed it, but it's not always that on the nose like it is. Also, there's a lot of sound effects. Okay, with all that being said, let's get this episode started here. There's a moon or a planet in the sky and like sunset, a beach. Jordy's on the beach with someone. They're dressed in like beach formal casual wear. And Jordy's like, they're tipping back cocktails. I assume they're mocktails, though. Coco No-Nos. I guess that's funny. There's no alcohol in them. But she says, I've had enough, Jordy. And Jordy's saying, oh, I almost forgot. This is so bizarre. And I guess like what I love about the characters is that Jordy thinks this is a good idea. He calls in a violinist who has no sense of personal space, also of sonic space. And I guess the song is Hungarian Rhapsody, which is a familiar tune. You've heard it before. And the violinist, who also has a neon orange vest on. So maybe he was playing last, but Jordy had him was playing like, I don't know where else. But so we figure out that Jordy and this woman are on a date, though it's not going very well. Jordy just tried to move over a little bit. And now he moved over again. Interesting. I didn't notice that before. Oh, he just tried to put his arm around her. Okay, so he tries to move over. He tries to put his arm around the date while this person is playing the violin in her face. So, like, literally, like some sort of heavy metal, like aggressive rock concert style. And he's creeping around them. And he said, you programmed this, Jordy? And then she says, by the way, this isn't going to work, dude. You're nice, but I don't like you that way. And Jordy sighs. He goes, yeah. And he's let down. And then he says, stop violin program. He doesn't actually tell the computer, though. Then, let's see, very weird. Don't feeling that way. Terrific person. Then we go to Data and West playing 3D chess with this asteroid field behind them, where I guess there was some sort of like big event. Aurelius 9 was decisive between two people that weren't too decisive dance-off, where the whole dance floor, I mean, I guess it was giants or something, because it's not an asteroid field, it's the leftovers of the dance floor. Jordy goes into the 10 forward, down. Wes says, uh-oh. Data says, what? He goes, he had a big date with Christy tonight. Tried to put together the perfect program, but it ended early. And I say, Wes is, how much did Wes know? Then Data says, uh-oh. Then they call Data to the bridge. If you're playing 3D chess, you should play that on hologram so you could save the program. 211, Mark 61, Data goes right to the controls. It kicks somebody else out, some sort of ancient interplanetary code. And Data says, yep, ancient it is. Is this from Aurelius 9? Not possible. Hardly possible, though. Picard says, let's go look at it. So they start to head into the asteroid giant dance floor field. This was like the subfloor, though. It was concrete or cement or some sort of hard matter. Not the wood. That probably deteriorated in space. If they use wood, then they get something. They put it on the viewer. Oh, boy, it's a ship. Holy cow. It was a ship that had maybe one of the dance crews, Permelian dance cruiser, Lang cycle fusion engines. Scott Lang, they say. Sensor says nobody's on there, though. Hope not, Mr. Data. That belongs in a museum. We're a little late for this dance-off. It was 1,000 years ago that they called, because they have a call for more of their dance crews to come. Zooms on Picard, who was like very struck. And the episode opens. We get another shot at 43205.6 of the ship during the captain's log. Menthars and Promelians danced off to the end of all their dance crews. This is a Promelian dance crew deliverer. Picard wants to go. Indulge me, number one. I want to go there. Captain's prerogative. It's my prerogative, he says. Riker says, it's not a good idea, boss. He goes, what are you worried about? Old dancers? Number one, haven't you dreamed about climbing inside the bottle? Riker has no idea what he's talking about. What? The ship in a bottle, man. Riker still doesn't know. Model airships in bottles? I used to build them when I was a child. So he built airships in bottles, Vermilion battle cruiser. And they say, Data, you sure? So it's Data, Worf, and Picard going, adequate oxygen. It's going to be so cool, Picard. We're going in the bottle, man. Goes the ship in the bottle. No one built. This is one of the best comedy sequences. Let me just set it up. It's at 7:08 on, what is this, Paramount Plus? Okay, so he says, you can't believe Picard's flummoxed. No one's ever played with ships in a... First of all, you don't play with ships in a bottle. That's part of the problem. But he explains it more later, I think. 1,000 years, captain's prerogative. No one's played with ships in a... No one built ships in a bottle. And then Worf goes, I did not play with toys when they were children. And Data says, I was never a boy. When you were a little boy... And O'Brien totally looks like he's kissing Bud. He goes, yeah, I did, sir. He goes, great, O'Brien. Consider all your other demerits erased from all your other... I did not play with toys. I love Worf. I was never a boy, Data says. Guard sighs. I did, sir. Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Then he says, proceed. Then Riker stares O'Brien down like, what a behind kisser you are. There's also this echo music that starts or has already been playing throughout the episode, which you'd be familiar with. Maybe this was something like where the orchestra was on strike or something, or the music designers. I'm not sure. I'm not kidding either, because it does sound like a lot like stock music, or maybe their budget. Finals, Seaman Char from Chair. Oh, so then they get on ship. The lights are out. They got flashlights. So 3 beamers or 2 beamers. They find an old ship with an old member of the dance crew, like a model for their clothes. Admirable. They were at their post. This is just the delivery of the dance crew, though. Clumsy bridge. Picard talks about the bridge layout. I think he says you'd expect it to be clumsy, but it has such simplicity. Clumsy and awkward. So Picard's impressed. Then we go back to the ship in a minute. We're still on the bridge of this dance crew vessel. Admirable. but Guinan and Geordi are going to talk. Geordi asks for something stronger. But Geordi, another scene where kind of get some of Geordi's issues because he doesn't even listen to anything Guinan's saying, even the hints she lays very clearly for him. Like she says, she basically says, dude, I'm not a human mammal. I'm just, or whatever we are. I don't know, human, homo sapien. And she doesn't say that, but she says, can you read, do you even know, am I just I don't know anything about Guinan, so I'm probably wrong too. Says, Scooter, actually she is. Oh, okay. She's in a human form. You have anything stronger than this guy? And Jordy's on a second drink. Yeah, she says, would it help? Nope. He says, tell me something, Guinan. You're a woman, right? And she says, yes, I can tell you I'm a woman. And he starts saying, well, what's the first thing you look at? And she goes, a head, a person's head. His mind. No, she says, his head. I'm attracted to bald men. What? Maybe because a bald man was nice to me. Or kind to me once, when I was hurting. Took care of me. Jordy says, I'd like to take care of you. And she goes, I take care of myself. And he goes, no, I was meaning generally. I want to take care of somebody. I don't get it, Guinan. I can field strip a fusion reactor, realign a power transfer tunnel, but I can't make anything work. And he goes, I don't know what to do, don't know what to say. She goes, you're doing fine talking to me. He goes, you're different. She goes, no, you're different. And he goes, I'm not trying now. She goes, that's my point. Jordy kind of gets it. He laughs, raises his eyebrows. Wes says, Wes and Riker on the bridge. Something weird with the power. Acting weird. Define weird, he says. Getting fluctuating waveguide readings. Define weird. Scooter. Okay, but what about with the ship? Data turns the power on the ship they're on. And okay, let's get some images of this display. Take some pictures, basically. Source of the signal data says it's coming from over on this desk. Everything's covered in dust. There is one red blinking light. Let's deactivate that wharf. Okay. Data finds basically their version of SD card, which is circular information storage device. Crude analog of our own isolinear chip. Crude by our standards, but this was built when people on Earth were just figuring out mechanical clocks and cross things. Because I don't know if I can get it to work. I can try, but it's pretty old. And Data plugs it into the reader, turns purple. Data does some scanning. Galaxar appears on the screen from a Permilian dance crew, Claponi or something. Want to let everybody know we danced, and we danced, and we danced. We danced alone, ironically enough. And it was I alone am responsible that we danced off. I failed as captain of this dance crew. And everybody, all my crew, let him down, out. And Picard calls the Enterprise. He goes, yeah, we can come back at your leisure, O'Brien. We've seen everything we need to. They're all thinking about it. What if we had to do it? What if we were only, they do more than just dance-offs. Then they go to the bridge. Picard is pumped. Thrilling. Absolutely thrilling. Troy's looking at him, big smiles. Now, I was right. We did find some old stuff on there. Talk to the captain, friendly. My own counterpart, final message. Troy's laughing. Then her and Riker share a look and they get caught. We got to put this ship in a museum, man. Aye, sir. So he catches him laughing at him and he stares him down. And they're still smiling. She goes, I'm sorry, Captain. It's just a rare pleasure to see you so happy. And he kind of goes, yeah. Goes, let's get back on track, Crusher. And then Data says, it's 2% drop in energy here. Okay, let's, then Then an alarm goes off. Got some sort of high-intensity music coming up, a volume, a ear-hurting level. Energy's down to 5%, yellow alert. They say put up the sonic shields because we don't want to hear that music. We don't know what it is. Reverse course, full impulse power. No response, Wesley says. Picard and Riker look at each other. Okay, go to warp 1. Nothing's happening. They call Geordi. And he goes, everything's working. As a matter of fact, it's even firing. The engines are firing. We're just stuck here. So we should be flying. But it's like somebody has the brakes on. 12% power loss now. Red alert. Picard stands. Music volume is intense and getting more intense. Got to shut the engines off. All right. Is this possible? And then Picard says it must have been the same thing that happened to the other dance crew. And they zoom on him. 1,000-year-old booby surprise. So the surprise was in the dance floor wreckage is hidden speakers that use the power from your ship. I'll just tell you because so it goes to a kind of stuff. Okay, engines are idling, energy loss, but we got 3 hours of energy. And we won't be able to hold those sonic shields after that. Can't figure out where it's coming from. Music's so strong, we can't find the speakers. Why are we losing the energy? I don't know. Check the history books data. So I guess I spoiled it. It says, yeah, there's plenty of things, mentars, and they first used the Kazav Teke passive lure stratagem. Comparable to Riker goes, comparable to this situation data. They go, we should go back to that ship and see if there's any answers over there and get to the bottom of it. And Picard goes, agreed. Mr. Worf, can we put the shields down and let music in? Yeah, that'd be fine. 2 seconds or whatever. He goes, Jordy, you got to figure a way to get the Enterprise running. Data, you join Riker, find out what happened on that other ship. You get moving. Let's go. So we see the ships again. Jordy's pressing buttons, thinking, why can't we move? He says, computer, we got to, as our power went up, was there a counter reaction? Affirmative. Opposing force grew in direct proportion to power input. Okay. So that kept us from moving. Counterforce, correct. Jordy looks around, stands up, hits some other buttons, looks up something on the computer. I don't know what, bunch of readouts. He goes, who's L. Brahms? He must be Leah Brahms, Dr. Leah Brahms, engineer, graduate, Daystrom Institute, theoretical propulsion group, Galaxy-class starships, Team 7, junior member. Junior member? She wrote the book on propulsion. Okay, call up the design logs, check the menus, got records, and we got L. Brahms' voice entries. Jordy says, voice entries, eh? So then Brahms starts talking about her logs, about working on the engines. Heading, subspace, Leah Brahms. It's like an audiobook than a podcast. But Jordy says, how you doing, Doc? Yeah, she goes, specify program. He goes, oh, yeah, let's get to work. It's my style, too. So I guess Jordy's being himself. And then Picard meets with Dr. Crusher, who says, okay, well, this is, if the music's going to be as loud as we expect, we got about, after the shields go down, we'll have 30 minutes, and that'll be it. We'll never dance again. Riker goes, then they call from the ship. They go, we found a bunch of other memory chips here. Data says, maybe the captain's logs. That's what Picard says. Are they going to work, Data? Maybe. We can enhance them on ship. He goes, okay, get back here quick. Aye, sir. Then Geordi starts looking at the dilithium crystal chamber. He's trying to figure, he's just blue sky brainstorming again. What if we move the crystal, reoriented? Dr. Brahms says, it's possible. Got to adjust the lattice structure. We're going to integrate it in the next class of starships. Jordy goes, I can't wait for that. Leah, we got 2 hours till our shields go down. Or an hour and a half, I don't know. Jordy goes, you know what I need to do? I need to be inside of this. I need to turn this thing inside out. And he goes, computer, can you make a cross-section? Can you do this on the holodeck? Prototype schematic? Or goes, what's a prototype? Development stage prototype. Utopia Planatia Drafting Room 5. Mars Station, starting 40174. Jordy goes, perfect. Put on holodeck 3. He goes, Doc, I'll meet you there. He runs. Then he walks the holodeck. Then he does have to punch a code in. And he goes, all right, ready? And they say, all right, holodeck 3 program's ready. Jordy walks in and kind of there's a recreation of a lab, I guess, or the construction. There's a version of Enterprise being worked on right back where it all started. I guess a prototype on Mars Station. There's crystals, there's models of ships. It's not in a bottle, but Jordy's looking around. There's all the notes on they have clear boards instead of whiteboards. Jordy goes, Leah, did you design this? Dilithium crystal chamber was designed at Outpost Sarin T1, 452. And he goes, what really happened? He goes, that off the record. And they say access denied, personal logs restricted. Jordy goes, okay. Another person won't be personal with me on the holodeck. And he says, I need to supplement the energy supply to the ship and the engines. Could we alter, he's just trying to, theoretically, she says, yeah, we could. Maybe faster injection. He goes, well, this is your thing. He goes, show me how to do it. Then there's a hand on his shoulder. He turns. And there's a woman there in kind of, green. She has a turtleneck and kind of blank look on her face. So then we cut to the 2 ships. He goes, computer, did I ask for a simulation? Affirmative. You asked Dr. Brahms to show you. Jordy looks at Dr. Brahms. Yeah, I created, the computer's like, I created a facsimile. And Jordy goes, I guess so. Good to see you, Leah. And she just stares at him, breathing through her nose. Continue with your analysis. And Leah says, L52, 452, L57, reactants, calibrate other systems, equal factors, multiple injector streams, Jordy says. Yeah, we could do it. We could hold our own. He turns, he goes, Leah, you're beautiful. Calls the captain. Think we found a way to do it, maybe. Good job, Jordy. Can you get us out here? Not sure about that yet. I just want to maintain the shields. Oh, okay. Says we'll get right on it. Picard goes, pass it on to your team. We're all smiles down here. Leah's not smiling, no. Then they're back on the bridge. Data says, yeah, these are the captain's log, these SD cards. A lot of them aren't working, though. And then they say, scrub through everything, see what we can listen to, what we can glean data. So basically, Leah is like AI, just as a heads up, and it gets interesting. And they say, okay, what is the captain talking about? They're at the Science 1 station. Then back with Jordy, 452 versus L575. Got the energy up at 14%. Jordy smiles. Leah's she's not even moving. And she's looking off into space. Jordy says, okay, this is weird. Computer, do you have any, personality on file for Dr. Brahms? They go, yeah, we got the Starfleet profile from 456. Jordy goes, that'll be boring. What about a debate at the Intergalactic Caucasus? Chaya 7. Oh, yeah. Went to Chaya 7 more than one time. All right, put the data from all those sources and create a true representation of Dr. Brahms. The computer says it'll be a 9.37 margin of error in the interactive responses from the facsimile. Jordy goes, I can live with that. Which I said, wow, that's pretty good. 91%. Then Leah breathes through her mouth like she's been given life or something. Blinks, turns to Jordy, studies him, kind of smiles, then really smiles, puckered like smile. Dr. Brahms? Jordy, call me Leah. Don't call me Dr. Brahms. I'll call you Commander LaForge. She goes, let's get to work here. Can't leave this in realignment. We're going to burn out components, so we got to get moving, Jordy. Are you with me? Jordy's just kind of staring at her. Yeah. And he goes up, takes the side next to her at one of the stations. He looks at her again, though. Then we go back to the bridge, go back to Galak Sar. He says, yeah, everything, our engines stopped working. We can't move. So we have to dance, and we can't stop dancing because of this music. It's aceton simulators or something in the rubble. So the speakers, the loudest speakers ever made. Aceton assimilator speakers. They drain power from distant sources. That's what powers them. We can modify them. Oh, no, they convert energy into, they take the energy from your ship. And they just hit them in this field. Instant booby surprise. You're just going to dance until you can't dance anymore. Then Jordy and Leah have their first disagreement about power boosting and parallel subspace. And Jordy says, it's going to be, she goes, this is my design. She goes, I know what I'm doing. Jordy goes, I've been in the real world. This isn't he goes, it won't work out. And they go, this, no. He goes, she goes, I'm not used to being questioned. Jordy goes, well, I'm responsible for everybody on the ship. You worked in a lab with a static model. This is a working machine. 10,000 light years on it. She says, true. Jordy goes, darn tootin'. She turns away from him. Jordy goes, listen, he goes, it's just a circuit paths. Don't you understand? She looks back at him over her shoulder. He looks back at her. She smiles, shakes her head. She goes, okay, you're good, Jordy. Very good. He goes, I know my ship inside and out, baby. So weird. She goes, well, you must know me, because a lot of me is in this ship. I guess not any worse than Barkley. And then she goes, that's what's wrong. We never, us designers, we never got out into space. He goes, well, you're here now with me. Yeah, I don't think he says with me, but she smiles. They say, Riker calls, Jordy, what's going on up there? Get down here. On my way. He goes, don't go away. He goes, she smiles again. Computer save program. You would think it would auto save when you move. They go, Data, how many speakers are we talking about? At least several 100,000. Any deterioration? No way to know that. Likely, but is there a weakness, Worf, in any part? Nothing substantial of any kind. 0.1% dip in the speaker power in this one area. 21 Mark 8 by 42 by 0. And they say, well, we could fire phasers at those speakers. And they say, yeah, but it could just make them more powerful. Or that's what Data says. If you fire the phasers, the speakers could get louder. That's what they need most, energy. And Picard goes, I'm sure they were trying to figure this out on that other ship 1,000 years ago. Well, let's try it. And he goes, Jordy, get back to engineering and continue your efforts. Worf, prepare phasers. There's one dude in blue at one of the he's working at 2 stations at once, Science 1 and something else. They fire the phasers, and of course it increases the speaker power. We zoom on Picard, though. 8%, 10%, draining our energy reserves. Picard says, darn you. And Jordy and Leah are working on one of these clear boards, talking processors, reconfiguring. Energy reserves are low. They say we gotta cut all simulations. And Jordy says, override restricted. Jordy says, what? Computer? And then Leah vanishes. Then the lab vanishes. Then we just have the 2 ships again in space, probably the music, the echo music. And let's see. Oh, yeah, there was other stuff about the music. Synthesize. There's a lot of like romantic music with Geordi and Leah. That reminded me of the movie. And I guess the plot is kind of like the movie. There was a movie, believe it or not, in the 80s. I mean, I guess it's a somewhat standard plot, but a man who fell in love with a mannequin. And then the mannequin, I don't know if the mannequin came to life and then became a mannequin again and then became a human again, but he was in love with it. It was called Mannequin. And I saw it, by the way, as a child. No wonder, like, I'm not kidding. As a child, not in high school, probably. I saw that in the movie theater. And it was the same star, same kind of, Andrew McCartney, I think, was the star of it. Who was also in Weekend at Bernie's. So, like, if you wonder what's going on with Generation X, if you ever wonder, you say, how'd you get like this? You say, well, those are two, I mean, those are just like all the cereal commercials, all the cereal. And then when we started to reach our formative years, this is what we were shown. But yeah, so there's music like that. Like there's romantic music and then there's suspense music. Okay, then they're on like the conference room trying to figure out what we're going to do. They say, okay, well, we'll just get the ship repaired once we get out of this. And they say, oh, well, there's somebody that's an optimist. And they go, well, how long we got, Worf, with the sonic shields? 2 hours. And music's up to 17% in volume. And what impact will that have? So it went from 30 minutes to 26 minutes. Can't resist. We can't not resist. Jordy, what do we got? Have we shut everything else off, including strange simulations? Yeah, but I got to get a holodeck thing running again. For what purpose? Well, I went back to the beginning of the construction of the Enterprise and have created a propulsion design model. We're making progress. So Picard says, reinstate that program. You got 1 hour, Jordy, to give me a suggestion. And Jordy says, runs back, punches his code in. It's only like 3 or 4 digits. Enter when ready. Jordy rushes in. Not much time left, Leah says. All right, we got to figure this out. It's a booby surprise, eats energy for breakfast. How do we fool it, block it? What do we do? And every move we make, there's a counter move, just like in actually dancing in a dance cruise. Maybe, but there's got to be a time differential or something, Leah says. Between the 4, we got to react before they react. We got to make our move before and then make another move before they make their counter move. Because, Leah, do you like Italian food? She would like it. Wait till I make you my fungili. And fusion reactor uplink. So Jordy's trying stuff. Then we see, so this is a very contained episode. I didn't realize it. Maybe that was like the budget was like, that's just too, but they're all contained. I mean, and this has a lot of sets on the ship. Now, this is really weird. Leah starts giving Jordy a shoulder massage. And he goes, don't do that. She goes, I'm sorry. It's Thought it would feel good. He goes, I don't want to feel good right now. She also has shoulder pads in her, I got 1,600 hours. What am I supposed to tell the captain? He goes, I'm not even talking about what I'm, pushing in the back of my subconscious. And she goes, I could do it. He goes, no one's fast enough, not even Data. How are you? She goes, I could do it. And he goes, it's not humanly possible. She goes, I'm not human, by the way. And he goes, you mean a computer could do it? Then Picard walks on the holodeck and he's like, what the heck? Jordy goes, Captain, this is a holographic simulation of a propulsion expert named Leah Brahms. Picard looks and he says, I've been examining force counterforce response times to see what we could do. And Picard goes, and he goes, there's a chance we can maneuver out of this if we turn the ship over to the computer. And Picard looks at Dr. Brahms and he goes, what kind of chance? And Jordy goes, I don't know. He goes, we can run some simulations. And Picard goes, this is the only way? Jordy goes, I think so. And Picard walks off. Jordy watches him go. Then we have the ships again, probably the echo music. Picard's sitting alone, staring out a window in the dark because, there's low power. Doorbell still works, so Ryder rings the doorbell. Any word from LaForge? Yeah, he's working on it. If we agree to stay out of it, he goes, he wants to turn the ship over to a computer. Now we see this different bias here. Could make quicker adjustments than any human. Riker says, computers have always impressed me on their ability to take orders, but I'm not convinced of their ability to creatively give them. Picard thinks, goes, yeah, number one. He goes, you missed something not playing with model ships. They were the source of imaginary voyages, each holding a treasure of adventures. Meaning the earliest spacecraft flying an airplane with one propeller to keep you in the sky. Riker's laughing again. One propeller? And then Picard said, now the machines are going to fly us. Then we go to Geordi and Dr. Brahms running basically a video game simulation. And first try fails. They adjust things, adjust some levels and stuff. I mean, this is pretty standard, like in old video games where you just keep having to do something over and over again until you got it. Then she escapes, but Jordy says, hold on. Then they repeat it again. She doesn't escape. Basically trying to dodge all these little speakers. Doesn't work again. Same variables. Then the alarm calls because the sonic shields are out. Lethal music exposure in 26 minutes. They zoom on Jordy's face. He breathes through his nose. And we see the ships again facing off. And Leah's trying to do it one more time. He goes, Picard calls. He goes, give me 2 more minutes. I just need 2 more minutes. I think there's another way. 2 minutes, please. Picard goes, you got 2 minutes, dude. It's like we can barely hear anything. She goes, Jordy, there's no other way. He goes, no, wait. What if you completely turn it around? Come at it from the opposite direction. So simple it might work. New simulation. And then Picard's facing everything. They go, okay. Jordy's explaining it. We tried to overpower it, but we can't do that. That's what we're supposed to do. That's the booby surprise. He goes, the computer's the best piece of engineering we'll ever need. And he goes, isn't 1,000 adjustments per second? Jordy goes, not if we shut everything off. We just do a microsecond to beat the inertia, except for life support and 2 thrusters, no impulse, no computer, 1 propeller. And they got 12 minutes till the music gets intolerable and they start dancing. They say, what's the chance? Even money. No better than turning it over to the computer, no worse. Jordy says there's no way a computer can compensate for the human factor, the intuition, the experience, and, instinct to get by, And Picard, he has a look on his face, true leadership, though he hasn't been, and he says, Data, I'll take it from here. Make it so. Jordy says, I can fly it. He goes, no, you've done your job. Now I must do mine. Oh, I relieve you, Mr. Crusher. Everybody's surprised. This is the man who built ships in bottles, man. Don't be surprised. The whistle blows. All hands get ready. It could be rocky. Picard's driving. We're shutting off everything. Don't know what's going to happen. Brace yourselves. Music's getting louder. Though we can't hear it, obviously, because just shut it all down. Data looks, probably should have shut data off, but I don't mean, maybe not. Guess you need it. And Picard just does one little tap, starts the ship moving, and then they shut everything off. Troy has her arms crossed. She's breathing through her mouth. Wes is looking around. A lot of music and faces. 135 meters per second. Okay, we're going to be in the debris field in 8 seconds. Picard looks, goes with another tap in 3, 2, 1. Taps again, looks down, makes one adjustment. Starboard thruster fires, and the ship turns. 340 Mark 10. He hits another button. Thrusters off, and they go large mass to port, may contain an assimilator. Picard hits support thruster. So this is very video game-esque, a slow video game. No reaction. It doesn't detect us. Made it past the first hurdle. And stuff's still beeping. Object to port. Port thruster firing. And Data says this thing is, all these gravitational masses are reducing our velocity. We don't have momentum to clear it. Picard says, thank you, Data. And he goes, so this asteroid's gravitation is drawing us closer, velocity increasing. So they head straight for this asteroid, which, spoilers, like where Picard's brilliance is shown. Velocity increasing. 219. Everybody's a series of shots. There's music playing. And then starboard aft thruster. Picard spins the ship around the asteroid like in Mario Kart. What does he do? That drift. They say, brilliant, man. You drifted around an asteroid using its gravity, and we're out. We got through it. Picard goes, you got the con crusher. Thank you, sir. Full restart the computers, get everything back up, and mark this thing to be, avoided or, dealt with. Oh, no, they shoot the photon torpedoes in there. They have to blow up the other ship, which I guess deactivates everything. I don't know. We have Jordy and Leah. Technology could solve any problem, enhance the quality of our lives, travel across the galaxy. Gave me vision. Sometimes you got to turn it all off. Even the violins. She goes, violins? He goes, oh, a different program. And she laughs, and she goes, we made a good team. And Jordy goes, oh, yeah. Maybe we could do it again sometime. She goes, I'm with you every day, Jordy. Every time you look at that engine, you're looking at me. This isn't a tingler. Every time you touch the engine, it's me. So I guess in some sense, this is really, Jordy should just read tinglers. And then they kiss. And it's a two-faced kiss, closed mouth, though. And Jordy says, computer, exit holodeck. and program. And he has, then that's it. And oh, interesting. And so that's the end of the episode. It's a good one. Good night, everybody. Another episode of TNG, Sleep with TNG. Good night. All right, I want to thank people that became a patron recently. Dawn, Becky, and Yana. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Mia, Sheridan, and Elijah. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Gabrielle, Mary, and Jana. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Amy Lee, Mary, Kate, and Elizabeth. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Cheryl, Elliot, and Jessica. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Miley, Sheila, and Will. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Russ, Susan, and Tregivi. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Courtney, Jen, and Lauren. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Jeannie, Nikita, and Joanna. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Yana, Quasi, and Lauren. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the show on Patreon or supporting the show directly wherever you can, or supporting the sponsors. That helps all the work that goes in the show, keeps the podcast coming out twice a week. And you can also support the show for free just by spreading the word about the podcast or spreading it in general. Couldn't do it without all of you. Thanks so much. Thanks, and good night. And here's either Scoots or Tuck You In sponsor. Good night.